Hi, my name is Rachel Rogers, and I am in your online public speaking class. And today I'm going to talk to you about why students found guilty of bullying should be automatically expelled from school. Personally, I agree with this topic. I have a no tolerance for bullying. I'm now in college, and I've gone through grade school, middle school, junior high, and high school, and I get that bullies are out there, and of all ages. Doesn't matter if you're a student in school. Doesn't matter if you're an adult. Doesn't matter if you're an older person. Bullies are out there. Bullies are out there with people who you work with, who you go to school with, who you play on a sports team with, who you're in a club with, who you see at the grocery store, who you're friends with on Facebook, who you interact with every day. They're out there. And again, I have a no tolerance for that. I think all people should be treated fairly, and if a person does decide to bully, that they should be immediately removed and expelled from where they're at. There's different types of bullying. I think the three major are verbal bullying, physical bullying, and socially bullying. A big one we have an issue with today is cyberbullying. Kids are more exposed to the internet and social media. Kids younger in today's age have technology. They have phones, they have iPads, they have iPod touches, they have laptops. Even at school, they can use their devices and think that they can get away with bullying by talking to someone through a phone screen, typing through a computer screen, sending a message on any type of device that's negative to another student is considered bullying. In a more physical aspect, at school, you can see it in locker rooms, you see it in hallways, going through different class periods, you see it in the cafeteria, you see it in the car pickup line, you see it on the buses, and a lot of times the biggest issue with bullying is it's out there, but people aren't aware of it because the student who is getting bullied is afraid to tell or feel like they don't have someone that they can trust that they can tell. It's super easy to tell on someone and a kid gets in trouble and they immediately come back and harass you because there's no harsh punishment that's related to it. That's why I think if a kid is found guilty of bullying, no matter how high or how low it is, they should automatically be expelled. There's different definitions of bullying. They pretty much all mean the same thing. They're discussed. There's posters all throughout pretty much everywhere. Hospitals, schools, doctor's offices, counseling offices. I mean, if you just Google bullying, list and articles and websites about it pop up. But the Center of Disease and Control Prevention, they have a definition that I took to heart. I thought it was a very specific definition of bullying. It explained what it was. It explained the types of bullying. And they say physical, verbal, or social interactions that have intentional aggression and power imbalance between aggressor and a victim, and the repetition of the aggression. A lot of times when people are bullying someone, it's not a one-time thing. It's a thing that occurs every so often. I mean, it could happen every day, every class period, once a week, once a month. Or if someone posts a picture or posts something and someone negatively comments on that, that is considered bullying. And a lot of times kids aren't aware of bullying. They think there's a difference between harassing someone than there is bullying, but it's all the same. Being negative towards an individual, again, that is bullying, and I think that should be an absolutely no tolerance. I think with using the punishment of expelling, that kind of leaves a good balance between the bullier and the student. The bully gets expelled. That leaves time for them to sit at home and reflect on what they are in trouble for. Hopefully that there's good enough parents involved where they can have a chat with the student and begin to let them know why that's not okay, how it really hurts others, and how that kid who was bullied is mentally affected by that. And then again, also, when a kid is expelled, it gets more people involved. It gets more people known about it. Coaches are told about it. They have to sit out from games. They can't participate in practice. If they're in after-school clubs, if they're not at school, they can't go to clubs. They fall behind on schoolwork. There's a lot of things that play into the role. If you're expelled from school, it's a big deal. Also, it makes the kid who was bullied feel maybe more secure, that okay, this is a safe place, there's someone here who cares, and that if I am being bullied, then I can tell them. But with the thing with bullying is it's happening so much and we don't even realize it. And a lot of times when a kid is bullied, they feel like they're rejected, they feel not safe, they tend to fall back on schoolwork, they feel like they have no friends. It's hard to go home from a long day at school being bullied and you feel like you're all tensed up. It's miserable. I mean, their life becomes chaotic. They don't know what to do. They feel trapped. Oftentimes, in today's world, which is so sad, kids become suicidal, and that is completely not a joke. If a kid is feeling suicidal, they should obviously tell someone, and action should be taken into that. I think schools are doing a really good job with discussing the idea of bullying, but I think maybe offering a class that's more specifically about bullying and the effects that affect everyone. I think taking the bully out of the place where they are bullying someone is a great way to start with the ending of bullying. Obviously, I'm not saying bullying is going to come to a complete end, because we live in a society and a world today where that's just never going to be a thing. But I think removing the bully from the school is a great start. Like I said, they have time to reflect. They're in trouble. Everyone knows they're in trouble. Everyone knows this is what they did, and stay away from that. No one wants to be involved with that. And a lot of times jokes and negative comments lead to even bigger things. If, for example, if you go up to a kid after a football game and say, you played awful, well, it gets in their head that, yeah, I really did play awful. And then everyone finds out about it, and they come back to school the next day, and they're still talking about how awful you played. And then they hate what color pants you're wearing. They say you have no talent. I mean, it really affects the mental health of a kid. I mean, no kid wants to be told they're awful at something. I mean, children in today's world, they have no choice but to attend school. You can't hide from school. You can't run from school. Like, you have to go to school. And so if a kid is being bullied at school, they obviously don't want to be there. So remove the bully for a couple of days. Let them reflect. Let them realize that they've done something wrong. And let them come back and grow from this idea of bullying. Like I said, mental health is a huge issue in today's world. It's only getting worse, and bullying is one of those things that maybe if we can stop it a little bit, the mental health of kids will progressively get better. I think kids today, they do have a lot of things to worry about, but one thing is interaction with peers, and nobody wants to be made fun of. Nobody wants to feel like they're not wanted or that they don't have any friends. A lot of times counseling is offered or different support groups, and I think that is a great way to, if you are getting bullied or if you are a bully, that maybe you should step into those kind of things. But I think in the end all be all, if you are in trouble for bullying, you should be expelled from school and removed from the place of action.